Hello, everyone. Brock here. I wanted to discuss something that I don't normally discuss really at all to a lot of people. Um, lately, I was lately I was watching the situation unfold in the states with the presidential election, and what I can tell you, what fucking went on down there, blows my mind for real because of the fact that you know they got this two-party system that doesn't seem to work anymore. So what what the American people did, they voted in someone that they thought because he wasn't a politician or basically part of the establishment that has been around for as long as politics has been around for. They wanted someone different, you know, um, some especially for the blue collar people there, they want someone that would fight for them, maybe get their jobs back, instead of sending them over to China and whatnot. But first things first, let me say I did not approve of either Hillary Clinton or uh, Donald Trump. I think they're both really like idiots, and it's unfortunate that the American system only focuses on the two-party system, even though there's like the Libertarian and Green Party, and others, and some of the independents. And so to give focus to just two parties, you can't divide all the problems in the states into just two parties. It can't be done. We have way more than two up here in Canada. With you got the Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDP, the Bloc Québécois, the Green Party, etc. Um, and even though we bounce around a lot from conservative to liberal, we still have more of the option there, and it's more focused on just two parties. Um, but I wanted to talk about how you guys, the Americans, elected Donald Trump. You know, since the beginning of his campaign, I've been watching both parties. And to me, like, what I think a lot of Americans understood and felt in their heart is that, you know, um, Trump was being very more candid whenever he was talking to people, and he wasn't so scripted as Hillary would be in her rallies. And, the way Trump motivated people was a little different. I think that he got more interest from, you know, I'm not to say more young white people, because Trump did not do a good job in, securing the vote for minorities, considering, he wants to build a wall in Mexico and he wants to build a wall on Canada. Um, and other things, like those sexist remarks and, basically him being a bigot and all those kinds of fun things. So, um, he's just so out there and so ridiculous. Like, I guess just people just wanted something different like that. And he says that he's going to fight for American jobs and, bring the work back to America and so stop having so much emphasis on trading with other countries, you know. Um, and I think there's some validity to that a little bit, you know. Um, we don't want all the jobs to leave, in developed countries and go to, a country like China where they have basically slave children making your stuff, you know, um, and the quality seems to be less depending on where it comes from. So I can understand why he would want to bring jobs back to the States. Like, you take a look back in the old days when America was, basically coming to superpower. They're building these massive buildings, and they're building the infrastructure for roads and all these big projects that may not have been so corporate tied. You know, they put a man on the moon. They did those things with ambition and stuff like that, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons why these voters voted for Trump, because that is pretty much what he's trying to instill, that he wants to do great things again that America has not necessarily stopped doing, but has been put on the back burner per se. So I'm going to talk about Hillary for a little bit. I think Hillary, she says that she would have been, qualified for president and all that stuff. Sure, she may have been. She's been the first lady. She's been Secretary of State. She's been a senator. She's had the career in politics to maybe run as the president. But like I said before, the establishment is not working anymore. One of the good things that I liked Hillary, one of the things I liked, the policy that Hillary was going to do, is she wanted to get rid of that law that helps gives the right for companies to donate into politics, into the campaigns and stuff like that. What is that called there? Right, it's called the Citizens United law, where it basically gives the big companies, well, any company really, with a board, the rights of human beings, but on that note, big companies have never had the repercussions as human beings. Like, for example, like Pepsi or Coke in Africa, basically doing, things, crimes against humanity, basically, and not having the repercussions of, let's say, you can't send a company to jail, but basically just dismembering the company and dissolving it, basically, instead of sending someone to jail. Maybe the CEO can go to jail, or CEO can go to jail, and a bunch of other people on the board, but the whole company should also pay as a repercussion. That's my own opinion, but Hillary, she was she wanted to do some good things for the middle class, like raise the minimum age and improve on Obamacare, which I think is good things as well. But she didn't. I don't think she had the charisma, to grab the attention of, let's say, the millennials and the people that don't really follow politics too much, but are still getting screwed around. I think she was more relying on her name as a Clinton, and so that in itself, I think she was being a little naive and really not getting down and dirty properly. Like Bernie Sanders connected with the young voters. He might be old too, but he connected with the young voters, and he was popular in that way, where she wasn't really connecting with the young voters. She probably got mainly the older vote. Mind you, as we were watching the election last night, there was one thing I noticed for sure, that in basically all the states that I've seen, maybe with the exception of a few like Texas and whatnot, that Hillary had a lot of the urban areas, like she had in Wyoming, she had Milwaukee, and Pennsylvania, she had Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and stuff like that. So she had all the big areas where Donald had all the rural areas and the places with not so much population density. So that's also plays a part. I don't know. I just think that we you guys could have did a little more research into not just the Republicans or Democrats. I think you guys could have put a little bit more effort into the Libertarians or the Green Party or even some of the independents that were running out there. You know, the one independent in Utah there almost got second to Donald Trump for the vote, and like that's to me that's pretty cool if you can be an independent and get that many votes. And so I think what they need to do is diverse from the status quo of having a two-party system to definitely broaden their spectrum. Have because you can't have one person side with all ideals. It just doesn't work that way. Whether someone can be a little more racist than another person or sexist, as Donald Trump is a little more racist and sexist. And, all those things that went against him didn't hinder him getting in office, which people thought they would. They thought that Donald getting into the office was a joke. They thought it was just a big publicity stunt for his celebrity status. And now they waited too long to basically get rid of him. And now look, he's now going to be the president of the United States. And for me, there could be a couple bad things for Canada in that situation. Like, for example, I believe he wants to repeal the NAFTA agreement, which is the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, U.S., and Mexico. And that would put a whole lot of people out of work. Like there's pluses and minuses to both to getting rid of it, but I can see only job losses up here in Canada, as of right now, anyway. And he also mentions that he wants for NATO, if people don't start living up to the 2% GDP spent on defense, then the U.S. is going to take a back seat on operations in NATO, which right now is at a volatile state with the current predicament in Ukraine, and all the troops that they want to send to Europe. Mind you, I don't see it being a bad thing that Canada shows 2% GDP in military spending. I don't, maybe because I favor that a little bit, but some people disagree with me, so whatever, I don't care. But yeah, and really, if Trump actually tries to build a wall in Canada, that is laughable for sure. But you know what? At this point in time, anything is possible, right? So, if you have any comments on my little discussion that I've been having here, please let me know. Let me know what your point of view is there, and if I'm wrong in any of my facts here, please feel free to let me know. I'm always willing to be informed. Okay, bye.